Hello and welcome to another of my lo-fi sessions here on the Steve Wyatt YouTube channel. I hope you're all well, still here. I'm going to do something a little bit different today. I'm going to talk about one of my very favourite drummers, the great Louie Bellson. A few days ago on the 6th of July it would have been Louie's birthday, and I was playing some music on a lovely playlist. I really enjoy listening to Louie's music, and I was listening and just enjoying, as I always did. I thought I'd just like to kind of recount a few stories and experiences with the great man. I first met him when I was 10 years of age at the Fairfield Halls in Croydon, and I kind of snuck into the sound check in the auditorium, and Louie was actually on stage. And I went and spoke to him very meekly and very humbly, and he kindly invited me to get up on the stage and to have a little look at his amazing Slingerland drum set, which was just looked awesome to me, just absolutely fantastic. So I got to sit behind the kit and didn't want to outstay my welcome. So at the very kind of end of my little time sitting at the drums, I just said to Mr. Bellson, thank you very much. And as I went to leave the stage, he presented me with these. He took them off of the drum kit and he gave them to me 45 years ago. They are a Slingerland model Louie Bellson signature stick with nylon tips, quite a pointed acorn, and in red print it says Slingerland Louie Bellson model. So he gave me those, yeah, and they were a constant source of inspiration as I was growing up. You know, when things were not good or you were feeling a bit down, I'd kind of pick the sticks up and put on a Louie record and try and imagine what it would be like to be that kind of good at playing drums and being a great composer and everything. So it was very inspirational to meet him. I met him a few times and saw him many times in concert. The last time I saw him a few years before he passed away was at an event that was put on by my good friend Pete Cater over at Reading. And I went along, I took my younger brother Alan, and we had a lovely picture which you probably can't see, but it is featured in the book, The Art of Drumming, which I surreptitiously placed by my floor tom. And there's a lovely picture, there's lots of lovely pictures in there, co-written with Russ Tarley. It's got some great stuff in there, if I don't say so myself. And the picture with Louie Bellson. So that was great, and one of the things that I did was I took along a couple of albums to get signed, obviously, being a super fan. And this particular one, The Brilliant Bellson Sound, Louie didn't actually have a copy of this, and I offered to give him my copy, for which he declined, but he said, I will sign it for you because I've still got the original artwork at home, which I imagine is absolutely stunning, absolutely beautiful piece of work. So that was my kind of personal experiences with Louie Bellson over the years. My thing with snare drums is a well-known addiction and passion. And this is a drum that I've got out just to sort of give it a bit of an airing, because none of us are doing much at the moment, so I'm just in my home studio. This is a Cleveland badge, white marine pearl, 1965 wood shell Dinosonic snare drum. Now, these drums are rare because Rogers didn't make a lot of the wood shell drums, and I'm sure my good friends at Yamaha won't mind me talking about this vintage classic. But basically, they made these wood shell snare drums in the light of rock and roll happening, and the brass shell Dinosonic was by far the most popular model. Now, they have like a cradle on the bottom where the snares are, and the snare is attached to the cradle. And the idea is it lifts up and touches the bottom head very sensitively. So there is a little bit of fiddling with these drums, but I think they're absolutely gorgeous, and I'm lucky enough to have a few of them. I got them mainly from my friend Steve Maxwell, who runs the incredible Maxwell drums. I used to go to play in Chicago a lot with Paul Weller, and basically I'd make a day, if we had a day off, of going in to see Steve and just spending the day in this complete Aladdin's cave, this absolutely incredible place, and getting to sit at drum sets owned by Mel Lewis and Barrett Deems and Sammy Davis, and one of Louie's kits was there for a bit. But Steve really educated me to the beautiful tones and things that are possible with these fantastic drums. So during the kind of 90s and early 2000s, I managed to invest in a few. and I still have them. I don't use them live a lot, but I do use them in the studio. They really do have a crack. They have a real kind of fantastic rim shot. You can kind of hear them zinging away probably as I'm talking, and I do really love, especially this one, playing it in the studio. Yeah, the White Marine Pearl was quite sought after, and fairly kind of synonymous with the kind of drums that Louie and Buddy Rich would be playing when they were Rogers endorsers in the 60s. So I just thought I'd show you this, do something a little bit different, and just, you know, especially for all my wonderful younger fans, I want to kind of turn on and explain and try to keep alive the legacy and vision of these amazing players, because truly, to a certain degree in art, I think at the moment what we've actually done is that we've took for a football analogy, we've took a good hard look at a very sort of poor second division, and we've sort of turned it into the Premier League. And you know, I really felt that the other night when I was listening to some Jimi Hendrix and listening to Mitch Mitchell and thinking, that's a pop single, that is incredible. So for all you younger boys and girls that are into it, take a moment, go onto YouTube, which is a great asset to learning, and check out some of the footage of people like Louie and Buddy. There's an absolutely wonderful piece that Louie does that's on YouTube when he was featured on the Nat King Cole show. And he does like a drum feature, you know, it's huge like effort gone into it and huge stamina. And he goes from brushes to double bass drums. And Louie was a great innovator for double bass drums as far back as like the mid-40s, when he came to prominence, having won a drum competition for Slingerland, which was sponsored by Gene Krupa. And Louie won it aged 17. And the rumour is that up until the point when Louie got that exposure, which eventually led him to the job with the Duke Ellington Band, Louie was practicing in his father's basement for 12 hours a day. Just let that sink in, 12 hours a day. Now, with this lockdown thing, is the perfect time to be practicing 12 hours a day, if you possibly can, even if it's on a practice pad. If you're served up lemons, make lemonade. That's the only thing you can do at the moment. So, a little bit about Louie Bellson. I'm just going to play the drum just to let you know, sort of hear what it sounds like, just unfettered basically, just some double strokes. Some double strokes and a few extra bits and pieces. Anyway, that's it for today really, and stay safe. I will see you soon. Always good to hear from everybody if you want to stay in touch for some more Ask Steves. And I'm just going to put the whole thing together and play a little kind of drum solo with some really average double bass drum playing on my double pedal as a kind of a humble tribute to the great Louie Bellson.